Hi, today we are going to have a look at a matrix mixer and some interesting use of it. A matrix mixer is basically built to route multiple signals to multiple outputs, usually more than two because any normal mixer can route it to two stereo channels. So for example here we have this custom built matrix mixer. I made it with 5 inputs and 5 outputs. And it's pretty basic, it's just a matrix of knobs. And for example, if I have this signal, it goes in this column, and I can make it go out in any of those rows. So for example, let's say this signal I want it to go out from here, I just have to turn this knob and it will go here. And we are having a look today at a phase shifter and way to play it with a matrix mixer, so no instruments involved. What we are going to do is to set a feedback loop. My signal path is the following. The output from my effect goes into this input and then goes back out from this output and goes back in the input of my effect. So when I will turn up this knob, I will initiate the feedback loop. At the moment I cannot hear anything because it's just a closed loop, but I have set up an output channel which is connected to my Zoom recorder, which is what are you hearing right now. So I will actually create a copy because this is an active matrix mixer, so I am amplifying and creating a copy of the sound. I'm not affecting the loop, so we can hear it. And here it goes. If I play with the speed of the phase shifter, I turn it up, and we see the classic phase shifter sound. What's interesting is that I can go back to 0 speed, and it basically acts as a filter. Let's say I like this big fat sound. I can just stop it right in this moment, so you have this sound. And there is not a lot room to play just with this setup, because the only parameter I can work on is this volume, which determines how much feedback is going back in the effect. So let's hear. This is just our listening volume. We hear that the sound changes a lot because inside here and also in the matrix mixer there are non-linear electronic components, so they are not responding. For example, now I came back to the initial settings, but the sound is not the same. It was because the loop initiated with a different position of the filter. For example, now we are back to where we were before. Let's come back to this sound. But what is interesting is that we have the possibility to insert a new sound. I call it injection. We can inject a new sound inside the feedback loop. And for example, I will show you today, we will inject this drum loop. It's a very simple drum loop which is looping on my laptop at the moment. What we are going to do is to connect this drum loop into this channel. So now on this column we have this drum loops. I turn everything down and we can listen. It's just very basic funky drum loop. Let's get back to our phase shifter. Here goes the sound, and now we are going to slowly turn this volume up. So we are going to slowly inject the drum sound inside the loop. Maybe we turn the feedback a bit down. now we can hear it's the drum loop is affecting the way the feedback is behaving, and it's giving it a rhythm. But for example, an even more interesting sound can be achieved without any filter, without anything. And this effect, as many others, actually has a built-in buffer. So it's a little amplifier, but it's made of electronic components, so it's a non-linear amplification system. And for example, if we just deactivate the phase shifter, we can always create a feedback, as we can hear. This is a very low pitched, where we can actually hear the peaks of the wave. So I can change the pitch with this knob actually, because I'm deciding how much of the signal is going back inside and thus changing the pitch. Let's say I like this very deep and fat tone. And now we try again to inject the drum loop. Here the drums are acting a kind of sidechain compressor, as every time the sound that goes inside the loop from here, which is the drum in this case, every time that the signal peaks, it sucks energy from the feedback, so we can hear the click. And when the beat is more silent, the bass, the basic sound of the feedback goes back up. So we can hear it if we turn this volume up slowly. Here the sound is taking some kind of rhythm very slowly. If I turn this up, I can even turn this down to make it more weak, so I will hear more of the drums. For example, in this moment it entered that very particular region where there is some saturation, some distortion, and still some self-oscillation. If I turn it down. Here, for example, I only have the drums going inside the loop and back out where we're listening. We can play with those two volumes. For example, I can find some balance like this. And now what we can do is try to put the effect back on, because at the moment we are only using it as a little non-linear amplifier, and it's making this beautiful fat tone. For example, if we want to go back to our sound, let's inject again drums. It's a bit more tricky here. For example, if I want to select the position of the filter, I do the same trick I did before, turn it back down to 0, the speed. Well, that's it.